We had a customer come into the dealership. He says the engine of my vehicle is brand new and something's wrong with it. It's already bad. When we try to turn the vehicle on, the motor doesn't turn over. Get to looking at the vehicle, we notice there's a new V10 in this F250 and it won't crank over. Notice that the motor's brand new, but they reused the same intake manifold. You can't do that with a new motor, especially the last one that was in it. If it had catastrophic failure, there's metal in that intake manifold. The metal in that intake manifold gets caught in the crevices and everything else. Pull the intake manifold off this guy's vehicle, tap the intake manifold on the ground, start to see all the little shiny silvery pieces of metal. You can hear stuff moving around inside the intake manifold. Whenever you put a new long block in a vehicle, you never reuse the old intake manifold. Even if it didn't have catastrophic failure, I like to put a new intake manifold on it anyway, just in case something was there that you weren't told. The best thing to do when replacing a long block in any vehicle is do not replace the intake manifold with the old one. Always get a new intake manifold. You don't know what kind of shit was going on with that motor before it went out, and then you're going to take that same intake manifold where everything's circulated and put it right back on a brand new one. Now the customer's out all that money, has to foot the bill for another brand new V10, and then go after the last shop for installing the engine incorrectly on his vehicle, because it even says when installing a new vehicle due to catastrophic failure of previous engine, do not reuse the old intake manifold. And the guy did. Catastrophic failure would be any kind of bearing, metal, any type of metal bearing type failure from previous. Now if you just simply had blow by and you were wanting to replace the motor, you could get by with replacing the intake manifold, because that's not catastrophic failure, because it's just ring wear. It wasn't because a bearing went out or something, rod snapped or something like that. Then sure, you could probably reuse the intake manifold, but even in that instant, you're putting a new motor in it. Why not put a new intake manifold on? Just my thoughts. Better be safe than sorry. Y'all be blessed.